Hello everybody, how are you going today? It is so good to see you. I apologise for the echo. That is because we're in a gallery space, and gallery spaces are all about large cavernous rooms with white walls and concrete floors so you can spill your red wine without feeling guilty about it at all. But the downside of that is the echo. Sorry, we can't fix it in a video like this because we're shooting wide shots and we can't get the blankets up. Why are we here today? We are doing something I don't think I've seen before, which is a live focusing test. So we've got the Z7, the Z6, and the Z50 all doing exactly the same thing. How did we do this? Well, we did this. I don't own 3 of the same lenses. So what we're doing is we're standardizing. On the Z50, I have got the 35mm 1.8, which ends up pretty much being a 50mm 1.8. On the Z6, I have the 50mm at 1.8. And on the Z7, I have the 24-70 set to 50mm. And all of them, to make this test the same, are set to f4, because that is the baseline for the 24-70. So that is how we're doing this, and what we're trying to do today is to see how tracking focus, how good is the tracking focus. We're not going to change everything. All the cameras are going to be running live, and we're just going to flip between them with the vision switcher and see if they're all the same. And we're going to try a few different modes. All right, now I'm going to invite Mark in because Mark is going to be our dance monkey today.
No. I'll just be a monkey.
Okay, you don't want to dance?
No.
All right, no worries. Anyway, he's going to move around as if he's very animated, and we're going to see how good the tracking does to keep up. I would like you to move your head around. We're going to, with the whole body movement, with the bigger movement.
Bigger movement?
That's it, yeah, the crouching. The crouching movement, as fast as you can. That's great. All right, well, that's pretty sticky. So now let's move over to the Z6, which is the middle camera. And same movement. Oh, he's doing it the opposite way to unwind us. Bit quicker. Bit quicker, bit quicker. Oh yeah, oh, okay, that's good. That's sticking to you, great work. Okay. Now we're gonna go over to the Z50. This is the Z50. Go for it. Fantastic, doing well. So now I want you to go to the edge of the frame. So move over that way until I stop. Back a bit, stop. Okay, now do that same movement. Here we are on the Z50. And obviously when you go off the edge of the frame, we lose you. That's true. But that's fine.
Here.
Okay, and let's go to the Z6. That's doing a good job. Z6. And off you go. Fantastic. Yep, good. And now over to the Z7. Off we go.
Yeah.
Oh, as fast as you can. Oh, work out those points.
Here we go again.
Work them out. Oh yeah. Okay, have a break. So that's holding on to you really well. Well done, Mark. Thank you very much. What we're going to test now is walking towards the frame. And so go all the way back, all the way back, all the way back, all the way back. And we're going to start here. We are on the Z7. And off you go. Come towards me.
I'm walking and I'm crouching and I'm walking, or?
Yeah, you got to go down now. Yep. Keep going. We've got eye detect. And beautiful. That's great. And walk away. Lovely. Fantastic. Okay. Stop. And next we'll go over to the Z6 and we'll do the same thing. And action. And crouching. Eye detect. Fabulous, so good, working a charm. Now we'll go over to the Z50.
Right, okay.
Off you go.
We'll go.
And crouching. Eye detect. Ooh, I reckon the eye detect can a bit quicker. Now move your head around. Oh, that's fast. Maybe not that much, just more like this.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, just a sway. Lovely, good sway. Let's go over to the Z6 with the sway. Z6, fabulous. And finally take a step to your right and the Z7. Good job. How's about doing this for a living, Mark? This is fun, isn't it?
Crouching.
Okay, back to the start position. Great work. That's hanging on to you nicely. There is all three cameras from my perspective, having watched all of them just then, and of course you've just seen them. All of those three cameras seem to perform almost exactly the same. I think I did notice, and we'll see when we edit this, I feel like the Z50 flipped over to eye detect a little bit sooner than the Z6 and the Z7. Let me know what you think. So that is that test. Is it exhaustive? Can we do more? What are we doing next? Okay, we're going to do the turnaround test. Starting with the Z7, I just want you to just face a 180 degree turn.
Just turn around?
180.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. You can manage that. And back. Great, that worked well. Now what I want you to do is do a 180 and then sway. I just called, and off you go. You can do it. There we go, bit of a sway.
And the sway.
Yeah, so it's still tracking the back of your head. That's cool. All right, well that's the Z7. So now spin around, and we're going to do the same with the Z6. And turn around, and sway. That's it. Awesome. Great. Okay, and now we will go over to the Z50. And same thing. And sway. Fabulous. Okay, it's hanging on. All right, so next, facing me again, back to the Z7, this one here. And what I want you to do on this one is just go to profile. Go to profile and take a step back. For you.
This way.
Yeah, that's it. Now forwards, forwards. Ah, that's good. Bit faster, backwards and forwards. And the other way. Great. Well, that's hanging on to you. Okay, back to the central position. And we're going to flip over to the Z6.
I'll go this
Here we
way.
go. Oh, he's mixing it up. All right, off you go, walking.
All right.
Yeah, you do it. And back. Don't walk off frame. You're confused. Yeah. Oh, it picked you up again. Good one. And back. And the edge of frame is, and stop.
There.
And back. A bit faster, twice that speed. We just lost you. Oh, yeah, there we go. And fast back. Fast, fast, fast. Okay, and stop. And back to the centre of frame. On the Z50 now, spinning around and forwards. Bit faster, as fast as you can. Yeah, back. Oh, that's hanging on pretty good. Okay, back to the central position. Here it is here, the Z7 is the walk off frame and walk back. So walk to the desk and then just walk back. Yeah. Picked you up straight away. That's great. That's the Z7. Good work, Z7. Okay, this is the Z6. Off you go. And turn around and come back. I'm still waiting for that continuous autofocus, and picked you up just as quickly. Fantastic. Oh, he's coming back to, I like it. Back to the middle, yeah. And stop. Lovely work. Take a bow. Okay, and then next, and finally, the Z50. Off you go.
All right, I'm done.
And back. Fabulous, and back to the middle. All right, well what we're seeing there is all three cameras behaving very well and behaving very similarly. I don't see any difference in those two tests there. That's great work. What we're going to do now is active tracking. That's where we select Mark as the object we want to track as opposed to the camera working it out, and then we'll see how sticky the three cameras are. Again, we're doing this live. We're just live switching between the three cameras. So it's kind of fun to be able to do it this way. And what's also interesting to see is that we've got three completely different lenses, all set to 50mm one way or another, and they're all performing the same. So that says something quite good about the consistency of the Z mount and the consistency of the Z lenses. Don't you think, Mark?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's do it. Let's active track.
Alrighty.
And all right. So what I want you to do is a mix of everything. Let's start with the square box move. That's the way. You're doing great. Look at that. It's hanging on to you. It's hanging on. It's hanging on for grim life. All right, Lou. Now walking towards camera. In you come.
Okay, walking to.
Yep. Great. Fantastic. That's working admirably. Now back the way you were, and I want you to stop. And off you go, turning around.
So turning around.
And frog from that, yeah, right. It can't track you doing that, so that's interesting. Oh, it's caught your head now. Yep, all right, and face me again. And turn to profile. And walking off. Or walk. And stop. And back. And, oh, it lost you. And walk through again. Great, and back to the middle. And stop. All right, I think active tracking worked pretty well there. All right, so we're going to move over to the Z6 and we are going to activate the active tracking. First the box.
Do it.
The box. Yeah, great track. Oh yeah. Fantastic. That's it, towards the camera, towards the camera, towards the camera. Fantastic. Good job. And back away.
Oh,
yeah, facing, that's fine, that's fine. Good. Turn it all the way around. You got it. Move your head around. This is where it seems to lose you because this is not head or face detect. This is just object tracking. Okay, and turn around. That doesn't work. And then I've just got to put the box back on you again. So now we're going profile, profile, walking whichever way you want.
Walk this way.
Great, and then back. And then back.
Human.
Oh, we lost you. Oh, we've got you. And turn to camera. Fantastic. Well, that was the Z6. Oh, and we took a photo. Well, why not?
Hey.
We're here to take photos. That's what it's all about. Okay, and then finally we're going to go over to the Z7. Okay, off you go. That's it. Doing the moves, doing the moves. It's holding on tight. That's looking pretty good. Yep, towards the camera. Crouch down, crouch down. Yeah, focus looking great. Okay, fantastic. Oops. Took a photo, how weird. And now 180 degree turn, that's it, moving your head around. All cameras lose you at that point. Now profile, walking backwards and forwards. And stop, and back you come. Oh, we lost you on the building, come back again. And back you go. Yeah, it's lost you. And go. Walking, walking. Let's see if we lose you again. Yeah. Pretty good. Let's see if the building and back. Yeah. Got lost you as you walked off the frame there. It didn't reacquire. That's okay. That's what we're here for, to find out all this sort of stuff. Okay, so largely the cameras performed exactly the same way. I think active tracking is not face-based like the actual face detect was working. It was still tracking ahead, whereas the active tracking doesn't think the same way. It's just looking for objects, the object that you acquired in the first place. That's what it's looking for. And when it loses it, it struggles. So there's probably a little bit more smarts that could go into it, but I'm still very impressed by how well it's tracking an object that's moving pretty quickly. That's humans. Birds and other extremely fast moving things, well, that's another topic altogether, of course. Okay, the final thing I want to do now, and then we'll wrap this up, is eye detect. Let's do some eye detect. So we're going to get Mark on the chair a bit closer to the cameras, because eye detect only kicks in when you get relatively close. Right now we're about 4 meters from the camera. Eye detect feels like it only happens when you're maybe 2 to 3 meters from the camera. All right, let's get into that. So we can see eye detectors there working with Mark, and obviously it lets us flick between the two eyes by pressing the selector switch. That's what we're doing now, and if we had multiple faces, we could do multiple selecting. So Mark, if you can come closer, wheel yourself in. Wheel yourself in. It's okay, it's still only your head. It's nothing more than that. So as we can see, that's keeping Mark in focus. So if we flick through the cameras, these have all been on whilst we've been shooting with the Z7. So Z7, Z6, Z50, they're all hanging on, and quite different frames. even so I'd really tried to get them the same. Anyway, that's the three of them. So back to the Z6. So Mark, if you can track towards us, track in, track in, track in, track in, track in, stop. So to give you an idea, Mark is probably 70 centimeters from the camera at that point. Head down a little bit, and still that's working fantastically. And then out to that first position. This is now Z50, and Mark, you come on in. We can see that's doing a great job again. He's about 60, 70 centimeters from the camera. Everything's working fine. So just to cycle through, this is the Z6 with the 50mm. All cameras are set to 1/25th of a second frame rate at f4 at 200 ISO. That is the 50mm on the Z6. This is the 35mm, which equates to a 50mm on the Z50. And this over here, the Z7, this is the 50mm, the 24-70 f4 on the Z7. And they are all looking just great, and there is a really high level of consistency between those three. Now the reason he looks so different in frame now is because the cameras are not in the same position, of course, and that means he's in the middle. He's on the right for the camera on the left, he's in the middle for the camera in the middle, and he's on the left for the camera that's on the right. All right, everybody, well that was an interesting test. I just thought it'd be kind of fun if we did that live so you could actually see the way the cameras are behaving. It's very interesting to see that we've got three completely different price point cameras. We've got three relatively different lenses, in the fact that one of them's an f4 and the other two are primes, yet they are all behaving very, very similarly, both from an optical perspective, focusing speed perspective, and then obviously we get all the advantages that the Z mount offers, which are what I was talking about in this video here, that once you get into the Z mount, you get into everything that comes with it. So to be able to use all of my different lenses across all of these different cameras, and all of these different cameras are good at different things. The Z7 is great, of course, at high megapixels. The Z6, of course, is the all-rounder. It does everything well, video, stills, and so on. And the Z7, well, it's the entry-level camera, which basically keeps up with its bigger siblings, but it does it for a great price, and you get access to this mount. And we can see that there is a great consistency with focus, face detect, and eye detect, and active tracking across these cameras. We've just done it live. I'm pretty impressed by what I'm seeing. Now, this is not in comparison to what Sony or Canon are doing. That's not what today's about. This is about understanding how these cameras work together within themselves, and which one might be better or worse. And the reality is of what we're seeing here today in this sort of environment, and every environment is different, whether you're tracking a motorbike, a bird, or a running person, you're going to get different results. But in this sort of environment where you might be doing commercial photography of people walking around, lifestyle style shoots and so on, these cameras are performing almost exactly the same. That is really interesting. All right, guys, as usual, I'd love to know what you think. What do you think of this test? Can I do it another way to make it even more difficult or more accurate? I'd love to hear from you in regards to that. And can you see or feel any difference between these cameras? I'd love you to tell me about that. Okay, if this is your first time here, it's been so good to see you, and I'd love to see you again. Please subscribe, please share, please like, please check out over 200 videos down there by clicking on the Matter in Photography. There's so much more to see. Oh, can't wait to see you again. All right. Bye from the Z7, and bye from the Z6, and bye from the Z50. See ya!